Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my show Camera Tuesday. In today's episode, I'm gonna help you buy and choose your first DSLR. So let's dive right into it. So these are the three factors that you have to pay attention to. First, cost. This is your first tool. It's not supposed to be the best. It's supposed to, help you learn the ropes, and it's all that's supposed to do. So please do not overspend on your first equipment. Learn the equipment, then buy a better equipment. Second, this part is quite often neglected, is that you have to choose a camera that has very high usability factor. Like in modern day, it would be like having touchscreen, it's a compulsory factor. And third, but not the least, is performance. Like, don't buy so cheap that it does not have the performance. So these three crucial aspects, and in this order, because it has to be affordable, obviously, and it has to be usable. After that, you choose about performance, because if you start going from performance, you will be like, okay, this camera is no good, this camera is no good, this camera, unless you spend a lot of money. So in this order, you can narrow down your search. So what to look for? Of course, it's DSLR. The SLR part is not that important. The most important part is that it is interchangeable lens camera, to make sure that you can actually get something. Please do not buy kit lens. Like, kit lens is not bad, but it requires you to have a very thorough understanding of how to get images out of a lens that's already kind of meh. It's not bad, but it's not great either. So please make sure you consider lens first. Then you have to understand focusing system. This is the very easy to discern, because if you buy a cheap Canon DSLR, some of them have a very ancient 9-point autofocus system for the viewfinder, and some have 55 points. So you can easily gauge how good or bad a system is. So focusing system matters, because, like, let's say you have a okay kind of lens with okay sharpness, and your focus system is spot on, you're gonna get good images. But you have a very sharp lens, but your autofocus misses. So focus does matter. After that, you have to choose for ease of use. Now, these are the few components that you should pay attention to. First is a touch screen, because nowadays everybody is coming from a smartphone. You need it. Not that you cannot live without it. Your camera will become a paperweight if you try to do it. And then this flip out screen, and because we live in a selfie world, whether you like it or not, this sort of thing matters a lot, and it's very important for videography, and I'm using it as we speak. So these are the few components that you can look for. So by narrowing down all the data I have provided, for the first beginner, Canon seems to be the best choice. Why I'm saying that? First, it has a very good lens selection. It and Nikon has almost the same lens connection, so it has a very good lens connection. And second, it has good interface. Now this is where Nikon shits the bed. Basically, Nikon does not even give you preview exposure in your live view, and they have very, very terrible live view focusing system. And you might say Sony. Here's the problem: it does not have good lens choice. Panasonic and Fuji, same. They are more geared toward, like, Panasonic is specifically geared toward video vloggers, and the camera quality is not bad by any means. It's just that if you compare it to Canon APS-C, you will be like, yeah, for photography specifically, you will be happy with a Canon camera. And there is something classic about a big DSLR, not a heavy one, but a big DSLR. And this third part is very important. Is third party support for Canon is quite high. Like, for instance, for Canon, you can easily buy a remote that allows you to do intervalometry and basically time-lapse photography, because they have a port that is so simple that you can build it at yourself. It's basically old headphone jack. It's a normal headphone jack is 2.5 mm. That's 1.5 2.5 mm is the headphone jack that Canon accepts, and normal headphone jack is 3.5 mm. So using these third-party accessories like remote and magic lantern and all, there are a lot of other supports that you can do. It allows you to use your camera to its full extent. So third-party support matters. This is where Sony is almost zero. Like Nikon, because it's been going around for so long, they have it. It's just not pushed to the same level. Like, if you get magic lantern on your DSLR, however, it does void warranty, so please be mindful of that. Unless you really into high quality video footage, it's not going to give you that much of advantage. And there I'm recommending some lens selection. I'm recommending 18 to 135, not 18 to 55, because that lens, while kit lens is not horrible, if they are keep reducing the aperture, so at this point you're gonna be very disappointed. And everybody expects that, you know, you're gonna take a DSLR photo, you want shallow background, you're not gonna get it. So suffice to say, if you buy 18 to 135, you get range. At least you feel like, you know, when you are zooming in, it's not like 3x zoom, this is 5x zoom lens. And if you want if you do a lot of, you know, outdoor photography, environment photography, building photography, you can buy this 17 to 50 millimeter Sigma lens. This is f2.8 constant, so it does not shrink down. So these are two good lenses to get you started. If you are like very new, I would suggest you go with 18 to 135, and if you are like serious about photography, brighter aperture of Sigma matters, and these two lenses are relatively cheap. So, and I cannot understand, like, you can get any camera, even Sony cameras, but their autofocus system does not match up to dual pixel autofocus. Like, it's not day and night, but of course from Nikon to Canon, you'll be like, dude, is this made even in the same year or same technology? So all things considered, all the 6 variables I mentioned in the earlier slides, all things considered, Canon at this point provides you the best bang for your buck. Now, let's say I recommended the lens, which camera you can buy? 800D, 70-70, these are quite good, and I'm reasonably sure in next year they're gonna release the new one. So as of now, as of making this video, all things considered, Canon is the best starting point for a beginner photographer. So that was my presentation. Hope you guys liked it, learned from it. In that case, please like. If you didn't, dislike, leave a comment, subscribe, press the bell icon so you can get notified every day. Thanks for watching.